We are live. According to Detroit WXYZ News, star wide receiver Jameson Williams avoids arrest after gun found in car. Excuse me. I read through this story before I started recording this video, Lions fans, but I didn't look at the video. So I want to look at this video and kind of see what they have to say about it. Say about this. Some of you may have already heard about this, but those of you who have not, Jameson Williams almost came under fire again, this time for a gun charge. Let's see if we can get this going and see what they have to say.
We wanted to start a family more than anything. But like millions of
That ride out the
Americans,
little
we
ad.
struggled.
But anyway,
IVF is an
the
answer
story
to
was
our
saying that
prayers.
Jameson Williams and
But
his
our
brother
Congressman
were
Bill
riding
Heisinger
around
wants to roll
downtown
back
late
our
at night,
freedoms.
times when you shouldn't even be
Heisinger
out.
signed on to an abortion
And there
ban
were two
so
guns
extreme
found
it
in the
would
car.
outlaw
Jameson was
IVF
in the
treatment.
car with his brother.
So I'm running against him.
His brother has a
I'm Jessica
CPL,
Swartz,
so
and I
that may have
approve this
been
message
what got
because
them off
my
the hook. But
family
let's see now
matters,
what happens.
and
Let's
so
see
does
if this
yours.
video will play.
Topping our news tonight is that
Okay, here we go.
off-the-field issue now facing one of the Detroit Lions' young stars, who is already serving a 2-game suspension over performance-enhancing drugs. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. It's a story that will likely send shockwaves through the Detroit sports fan base and across the NFL.
Now, earlier this month, police nearly arrested Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams after they say he was caught with a concealed handgun during a traffic stop. Williams is not a CPL holder. The 7 investigators exclusively obtaining body cam video of the police stop in Detroit.
But were the cuffs taken off because of his high-profile status? Our questions have already triggered a Detroit police internal investigation.
Here's 7 investigator Ross Jones with what he has learned.
I'll pause this real quick. I'm already gonna jump in and say yes. I read through the story and I think that had a lot to do with it. All right, back to it.
I want to know if the fact that this individual was a Detroit Lions player, did that play a factor in the decision making?
It's just after midnight on October 8th, and near the corner of Connor and Jefferson, 2 Detroit police officers are pulling over a driver for speeding.
Detroit police, you know I'm stopping you?
In the passenger seat of the black Audi is Detroit Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams. Driving the car is his brother.
Before you start, you're trying any weapons in the vehicle? Yeah. Yeah, he a CPL holder? Yeah. Okay, where's your CPL at? Yeah. All right. Any other weapons in the vehicle besides that one? You got another one. Where's that one at? You don't got to reach for it. It's over there with him.
Officers said they found the second gun under Jameson Williams' seat. They would take both weapons, finding that the first, found in the back seat, was registered to Williams' brother, who had a concealed pistol license. The gun under Williams' seat was registered to him, but he didn't have a CPL. And that, the officer concluded, was a problem.
I'm going to take you out, okay? For what? You're going to start for carrying a concealed weapon, and I'm just explaining it to you so I can be transparent. But you want weapon, okay?
It's clear from the stop that the officer does not know who Williams is, but repeatedly, he would remind him.
I'm going to jump in and say something so the video doesn't have to play straight through and you can hear me jump in. If you are a CPL holder, you know that guns have to be stored a certain way. They cannot just be laying in the back seat just because you're a CPL holder. The gun has to be stored properly. Now, from what it looks like in this video, unless I missed something, that looked like the gun was just laying in the back seat.
Lions, bro. I'm Jameson Williams. Bro, I play for the Detroit Lions. Bro, I play for the Lions. Sir, I understand you play for the Lions. That doesn't give you like any. I know, but I can call somebody right now that you can talk to.
At one point, Williams' brother tells police that the gun belongs to him. But during the stop, the Lions wide receiver admits the gun is his.
I got the gun for protection. Do y'all know where I live at? Detroit.
Despite his celebrity status, Williams is handcuffed and placed in the back of the squad car. DPD Commander Michael McGinnis says that was the right call.
I feel that there was probable cause to arrest and that he was under arrest by the patrol officer. And because of that, he should have been conveyed to the Detroit Detention Center and processed.
But Williams wasn't taken to jail.
Sorry.
Instead, a supervisor was
Sorry, I'll
called
move
to the
out the way so
scene.
you all can see a
The
little
department
bit.
says that's not unusual for a high-profile stop. It's a precaution to make sure I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So within a few minutes, a sergeant arrives on scene.
What's his name? Yes. Jameson Williams.
95, will you?
The wide receiver? Yes. Okay, hang on.
Unlike the responding officers, the sergeant is a Lions fan. That's made clear by looking at his cell phone. Over the next 30 minutes, the sergeant would make a series of phone calls to higher-ranking officials, trying to determine if Williams needed to be arrested or if the driver's concealed pistol license covered both his and Williams' gun. At one point, the sergeant can be heard whispering something to the arresting officer's partner.
He indicated he was so mad at them. And I think what he was referring to was the arresting officers, I assume in a jovial way, for them having made the traffic stop and detained the passenger.
After conferring with multiple...
I don't know how jovial it could have been. I mean, that's something he could have saved for later. You know, he can't be mad at them that they don't know that this is Jameson Williams who plays for the Lions. These are just two officers doing their job. Not to mention, people, I was scrolling through the article when I first started talking to you, and it says that this actually happened October the 8th. I was under the impression that this just happened because this is the first I'm hearing about this, but maybe it's coming out now because of the body cam footage has been released. All right, let's continue.
Supervisors, the sergeant makes 2 more phone calls, and it sounds like Williams is about to be taken to jail.
Well, be advised, he's coming in. You might want to make special accommodations. He's going to be gone for carrying a concealed weapon.
But minutes later, everything changes. The sergeant speaks to a lieutenant who says Williams should be released from custody. We can't hear his side of the conversation.
Okay, beautiful. I'm good to let him go? You're here. Thank you so much.
Williams is taken out of cuffs. His gun is returned. A police report is not written. No warrant request would be submitted to the prosecutor.
The chief was very unhappy about the totality of the circumstances here. Even to go as far as say he was pissed off.
Tonight, Detroit police have launched an internal affairs investigation into this case and the decision not to arrest the Lions wide receiver. Late last week, a warrant request was submitted to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, with Williams facing a charge of carrying a concealed weapon in a motor vehicle.
Quite naturally, I think the probable cause was there for an arrest on this particular individual. And my concern in this particular case is to make sure that we've done everything legitimately in this case.
Well, the following Sunday, Williams traveled with the team to Dallas, where he recorded 3 catches for 76 yards and a touchdown.
All right, people. I'm gonna stop it right there and jump back in. Well, there you have it. So this was right before the Dallas game. So as I mentioned, I didn't see it originally that this had actually happened October the 8th. But I want to say something about Jameson Williams. I hope that this young, promising, exciting receiver, fastest player that we've ever probably seen in a Lions uniform, is not going on the wrong path and that he's going to be a problem. Now, listen, he came in injured. That's not his fault. His first year, his second year, when we get him, when we're going to get him for the full season, he's originally suspended for 6 games for breaking the gambling policy. Got knocked down to 4. Now this year, he's out for a couple of games for the substance, not illegal substance, but steroids. Let's just say some type of illegal substance, not drugs, but some type of illegal performance enhancing. That's what I'm trying to say. Drug. He is suspended, and now this comes out. The body cam footage has now come out about him being almost arrested for having a gun in the car. One gun in the back seat, which did belong to his brother, who was a CPO holder, but the other gun was under his seat, was under the seat that Jameson was sitting in, and they said that that gun did belong to him. It was registered to him, but he did not have a CPL. Listen, they make it very clear to you, no matter what state you live in, that you need to know the gun laws. If Jameson has a gun and it sounds like the gun was legal, he should know that he cannot ride around with a gun that's not registered and think that that's just okay. So what I'm hoping, Lions fans, is I'm hoping that this is not the beginning of a troubled past. Now, granted, it doesn't seem like he and his brother were out having any issues. They definitely weren't out making any type of trouble, but little things like this can detail your career. Not to mention, why are you even out that late? We all know that nothing good happens late. And no matter how young you are, we can say, well, young people, have to learn things. Well, sometimes you can learn a lesson that is a hard lesson, and it could be a lesson that could get you in a whole lot of trouble. Okay, Lions fans, what are your thoughts on this? Did any of you know about this? Because as I mentioned today, October the 29th is the first I'm hearing about this. What do you think about this? Are you upset with Jameson Williams? Do you think that it was something wrong with what the police did? Do you think that the police were just doing their job and that Jameson was lucky to get off with a warning because the sergeant who showed up was a Lions fan and it sounded like he just made some calls to get the young man off of the hook? Or do you maybe just see this as much to do about nothing and there's going to be no problems with young JMO? All right, if you haven't already, over on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You see our TikTok on the screen, go ahead and give us a follow there. And at the bottom of the screen scrolling is our Twitter/X page. Give us a follow over there. That's all I have for this one, Lions fans. Until next time, peace.